LaShonda Brown. I am back with more of directives from the Mississippi State Board of Cosmetology practical examination for cosmetologists. This segment is on the permanent wave. The permanent wave is also executed on mannequin number 1 after your haircut. So let's go over the steps that are required for you to execute this skill. You have 30 minutes, first of all, to execute it. You have to drape your client for a chemical service, section the hair for a permanent wave. It's your choice if you want to use 6 sections or 9 sections. Your subsections need to be in correlation to the diameter of your rod. Your partings need to be straight and clean. You are to wrap 6 rods using graduation. So you're going to use 3 different colors of rods. Okay, they're going to be checking to make sure the hair is wrapped smooth and evenly. They want to make sure the bands, your bands are straight across the top of the rod and they're not twisted. Okay, then they're going to be looking for you to apply either base cream or cotton coil around that particular section. Then you have to demonstrate applying the actual perm solution. When you're ready to apply the perm solution, you have to stop, raise your hand for the evaluator to recognize you, and they will come over for you to execute that portion. Okay, so I'm going to get started. The first thing I want to point out is that the items from my general bag are still here on the table. Okay, so we'll be continuing to use those. So I'm getting ready to start a new service, getting ready for my setup. I am going to sanitize my area. So I'm going to take one of my disinfectant wipes, sanitize my area. After I sanitize my area, I'm going to throw that in my trash bag. I'm going to sanitize my hands. And I'm going to begin my setup from my permanent wave bag with my sanitized implements in them. Okay? I'm going to take my towels out first. Taking this off. I'm going to re-drape. Just because that's my preference to re-drape. This is going to be a chemical process, so I'm going to double drape. Which means I'm going to secure a towel around my mannequin's neck. Secure my cape. Fold it down, creating that nice little smooth flat lip. And just so that I don't forget, once I get started, I'm going to go ahead and double drape. I'm going to lay my second towel on the top, because you should double drape for all chemical services. So I'm just going to put a clip in it to hold it. Okay? Then I'm going to continue my setup. I'm going to lay all of my implements out on my towel, just because I don't like laying things on bare surfaces. Even though my area is clean and sanitized, I still want to lay out a towel so that my implements are not on the bare surface. Okay? Another thing about having all of your stuff, all of your things set up in this manner, when you're setting up and laying your things out, laying everything out, you won't forget a step, because you will be able to glimpse down and see the tools and implements that you have laid out, and you won't forget to use them. Now when I pack my gloves, I always pack more than one pair because you never know, putting it on, one may rip. Okay? So I'm just going to continue to lay my implements out on this towel. Okay, again, I packed extra rods just in case. Once I get started, the bands break or something, I'll have extra rods I can grab from my bag. So all of my extras, this is still clean and sanitized, hadn't been used. I'm just gonna drop it back in my bag and I'm just gonna lay it on top of my case in the event that I need it again, okay? So, just for safety precautions, I'm gonna go ahead and sanitize my hands again. Once the proctorer tells us that we can start, I'm going to begin saturating the mannequin's hair for sectioning. Okay? Once I have it saturated, then I'm going to begin my sectioning. Just going to use a basic 6 or 9 part sectioning. Okay, starting with that center section. Now, as a rule of thumb, to make sure your subsection is not too wide, take your rod, use the center of the nose as a guide, and make those initial partings to make sure that your subsections are not too wide. And then proceed with straightening up your part lines. Again, you have 30 minutes. So make sure your parts are neat, clean, and precise. Okay. Always making sure you're using your rod as a guide to make sure those sections are not too wide. There's several different ways that you can approach this 9-section parting. So you have to learn the technique that's easiest for you when it comes to sectioning. You may want to start at the back rather than at the front. Simply up to you. I like getting the front part, my center section first, then working on the front. Then I go in and section the back. Okay. Give it a little twist. Make sure you clip it nice and tight with your clip. Making sure those parts are nice and neat. Now, in our state, every instructor has their way of teaching things. So by all means, make sure you follow the directions and guidelines that your instructor has given you. Because like they say, there's more than one way to fry chicken. So whether it's in the grease or in the oven, at the end of the day, it's still what? Fried chicken. Okay? So by all means, follow the instructions and directions of your cosmetology instructor. So I'm almost done with my 9 sections. Got it all clipped off. Now I'm ready to begin. Okay? So according to the instructions, they want us to use the center back. So this is the center back section. This is the section I'm going to place the rods in. Okay? So I'm going to release that section. I'm going to saturate. And I'm going to begin placing my 6 rods. Okay? So I'm going to start with my largest rod because we have to show graduation. I'm going to start with my largest rod, which is white. Get my subsection, make sure my part is nice, straight, and clean. I'm going to comb that hair out at a 90 degree because I want it to be half on, half off base. And I like the end paper technique double flat wrap, but if you choose, you can use the bookend technique. Okay? Your preference of which one you want to use. Okay? So then I'm going to start rodding. I'm going to slide up. I'm going to make sure it starts with the paper first so that I don't create a fish hook. I'm going to hold tension so that my hairs are nice, even, and smooth, and I'm going to roll it straight down. Okay? I'm going to let that band untwist, and then I'm just going to simply bring it over. Okay? Once that rod is placed, I'm moving forward to my second rod. Again, I got to show graduation, so I'm going to put another white rod right behind that one. All right, getting my end papers. Placing my double flat wrap end paper technique on the hairs. I always mist a little more water just to make those end papers comply, especially after a fresh haircut. Okay? That double flat wrap technique can be your best friend. All right? Again, starting, rodding on the papers, rolling it down. It's half on, half off base. I'm going to let that band untwist. I'm going to make sure it's fastened across the top. Okay? If it's crooked or showing any tension on the hair, I'm going to fix it. Okay? So I placed my 2 white rods. Now I'm going to move to a different size so I can make sure I show graduation. I'm going to move to gray. Okay? Same process. Add a little more water, keeping it good and saturated. Double flat wrap technique. So I'm going to put my end paper on. And my other end paper on. Again, saturate just to make that end paper comply with me. Okay, take my rod, slide it up, making sure I have started with paper first to make sure I don't have fish hooks. Those ends are nice and smooth. Rolling it down, let that band untwist, fasten it straight across the top. Okay, moving on with my next gray rod. Repeating that same process. Again, you have 30 minutes to place 6 rods, and you have to make sure you show graduation. We're doing basic rod placement, so that's going to be a half on, half off base technique. Sliding it up, making sure you're starting on the paper first, rolling it down. Making sure the hair is nice, even, and smooth. Let the band unwind, fasten. Okay, now I'm going to move to my last size of graduation, which is going to be pink. Again, consistently using the diameter of the tool to determine my subsection size. Okay? It really makes a difference. All right? Grabbing my end papers. Placing them. Okay? Getting my rod, making sure those hairs are nice and smooth. Got my paper started, rolling down. Picked up some extra hair some kind of way. Just released it. All right? Holding proper tension. Making sure I let that band untwist before I fasten it straight across the top. Okay? One more. And the bands on these rods have cooperated greatly. None of them have popped or anything. Okay? All right. Combing it out at a 90 because I want half on, half off base placement. Placing the end papers. Okay. Head starts to change shape a little bit right there. I'm going to reposition myself. Remember, you have 30 minutes. Make it good, neat, and clean. So you got time if you have to re-ride a few or even a couple of times. You have time to do so. All right? All right, so I'm going to start riding, making sure I'm starting on the paper first. Okay, and now I'm done. I have placed my 6 rods showing graduation. 6 rods showing graduation, half on, half off, okay? I am now ready for the examiner to come over, but before the examiner comes over, if I haven't already put my mock solution into my Perm bottle, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Because packing it in your bag that way, it may leak out. So you may wanna just take an extra bottle of water with you so that when it's time for you to do that step, you can just add the water to your Perm solution bottle. Okay? So, don't want to forget my cotton coil. So before I raise my hand for her to come over, I'm going to take my cotton coil and I'm going to wrap it around the section that I have rodded. I'm going to put on my gloves. Okay, and I'm going to raise my hand for the examiner to come over, and I'm ready to apply my Perm solution. So when she comes over and tells me to apply, I'm going to pick up my Perm solution bottle that's labeled Perm, and I'm going to hold my rod, and I am going to make an even, steady stream across and back, across and back, across and back. Making sure the nozzle does not touch the hairs. Across and back. A steady, even flow of solution. Across and back. Across and back. Then you're done applying solution. Then she may ask you to perform a test curl. So when she asks you to perform a test curl, you just select one of the rods and you simply take it down, kind of let it spring back, because when you're doing a test curl, you're trying to see if you have reached the optimum amount of wave or curl you want your client to have. So just unroll it a little bit and kind of push it back. That demonstrates a test curl. Once you've done that, you are finished. When she walks away, she will tell you to clean up. So at that point, you will start to clean up, which the first thing you can do is remove your gloves. The proper way to remove your gloves is to slide off one hand And then you take the other hand and cuff it into the next, and then you're ready to throw them in your trash, okay? Then you can proceed with cleanup. All of the single-use items will go in the trash. All of the multi-use items will go in your soiled implements container, okay? So I'm gonna end this segment for now. And I would like to say thank you for tuning in to my channel. Again, I'm LaShonda Brown, and I hope to see you in another video on your screen soon. Have a great day.